one gun out. It was a bit frozen, so we had to chip away at the ice around the feet to get it up. Let's see if this is the same. Probably won't be as bad because it doesn't look like it's got so much snow around the base. And I've got an appointment very soon, so I've got to try and get this done in the next half an hour. Sun's right in the wrong spot. Well, I think I can see our snowstorm coming. I guess it's a southerly. Makes sense, it's a southerly breeze. Sort of killing two birds with one stone, or one cat if you like. I need to cut this down to get at that gun, and I'm taking it to that pit, the open pit down there, and I'd prefer to do it on snow, so cut the pile down, use the snow to make the snow road, and then we're achieving two things at once. Thinking of maybe just driving it straight in there. In an ideal world, you turn it around and have it facing downhill, but I don't really want to go screwing around with this on the rock to get in and out. Might be a bit icy too. top of the pile is quite soft, but the inside's quite solid. The idea when you're pushing uphill into a soft pile like that, if you just jam the sticks all the way forward and putting your foot down and spinning the tracks, you're really not achieving anything other than loosening up the base that you're getting traction from. So you're better to try and keep the machine in its ideal torque band and button off on the sticks. Get the tracks spinning slowly, because you're still throwing torque into them. But when they're spinning slowly and you're going forward at the same rate the tracks are spinning, you've got traction. You're just sitting there spinning, yeah, you might gain traction, or you might just dig holes and get stuck in the pile. Or you'll hit a rock, dig down to base level and hit a rock or something. Just go slow. So this is an awkward angle because I'm turning and pushing and digging the blade in. You can use the blade a little bit to pull, buttoning on and off on the tracks, kind of like ABS but in reverse. Traction control, if you like. I suppose that's basically what it is. If you're feeling it spinning, button off a bit, give it a bit more, button off, just feather into a good pushing range. Spinning up and this sort of shit's you're just going to dig holes and make it hard for yourself. You can actually push around a corner if you're giving the right input to your tracks. A bit harder in the grey cats. They have a bit of lag between the input you give on the sticks and what the machine does. So sometimes they'll spin before you have a chance to button off. It's a bit frustrating, but that's the way they are. See, this is hard because this is like a 90-degree turn. But no track spin. I'm always trying to ramp up at the end of what I'm pushing out. That's where your biggest lumps will be. You ramp up, the weight of the machine actually pushes that down as you crawl forward, and then it packs that end down. If you just button off like that every time, you sometimes end up with this going on. If it's high, you can cut it down. If it's low, it's sort of harder to get the snow to fill in the holes. It just wants to pick up whatever's underneath it and strip your track marks. Up. Pack the edge down. That's my technique anyway. Other people will tell you different. If it works for you, then who cares? Same way I do it with dirt with a bulldozer. Except for those drops. It's a bit awkward with that sun, it keeps hitting me at the wrong moment. Good thing about these is you can use your blade to help you turn as well. You can be turning putting some weight on a track that's losing traction or needs a bit more weight behind it to turn. A really easy blade to do that with, just because you're using your wrist. Basically trying to screw the machine to gain traction. I'm shit at explaining things, sorry. Flatten this out, and I think I should be able to get that gun pretty easy now. In theory. Basically where we want to put that gun. Don't usually make a road to the gun, you'd usually make it next to it, but I'm trying to protect the tracks on the machine as much as I can. If I made it over there, I'd have to screw around to place the gun. I might have to, we'll see how it works out. Out so I can turn on it. Too hard. It's also good when you can to build the road up thick, because you can always cut it down later on. If you build it thin, it might melt, or you might just dig through it when you're pushing or turning or something. It's only about, by the GPS, maybe about 40 centimeters thick. That's plenty. Plenty on nice flat ground like this anyway. can't see me because of the sun. The downside to the polar blade, it's a bit taller than like the bison blade or the standard 400. So it's a bit harder to get under the guns. You've got to be careful digging down because you don't know if you're digging into the dirt or if there might just be a cable sitting there. Hopefully not from the gun. We're usually smarter than that, but apparently there are little cables in the grass in some places around here, and I don't know where they are. Good. Nice. And again, the other side of the polar blade is it doesn't curl back as far as the bison because it's a park cat. These don't have a park frame, so their blade doesn't curl back as far, which means you can't get the back of the gun off the ground as far. So I've got to wind the legs up. Shit, I'm cutting it fine. 8 minutes. Got a meeting with the tax man to make sure I can actually get paid. Or woman, could be a tax woman. Don't know. Not the best gun to move, best cat to move guns with, but just use what you got sometimes. Hopefully I've made this flat enough. Probably. Either.
Yeah, like if you just put it here.
Yeah.
That will work as well.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Yeah, I've got blade on. Oh, she doesn't say. They can be shits of things to put down sometimes. This is actually a pretty easy position to do it in, but still. Sometimes when they lift up, they shift a bit and get jammed up on those pieces of reinforcing or on a bolt or something, and they don't want to let go. But you want to be gentle with them because they're bloody expensive. Right, go back for my meeting now. It's good, that'll make a nice big whale here. We can link those together and Bob's your uncle, as they say. Can't go too far wrong with this road because it goes from there pretty much out to almost the towers over there. So it doesn't really matter where you put a road. It'll get all filled in eventually if we have a good snow year, I guess. Early days. Of course it makes sense to drag a blade full of snow with you. Bugger, that one's already making on the grass. Might have to shut that one off. We'll see. If it gets a bit of a whale there, then it's not so bad. Problem is, you turn them to face into the wind, the snow blows back on the gun, ices up the gun. Usually it'll start building up on the turbines and cause a vibration in the gun, and then it'll shut itself off to protect itself. So the wind does play quite a big factor, especially in an open area like this, with how you're making snow and where. Oh well, we got something done. That's the main thing. Probably be back out after my meeting anyway. It's only probably going to take 15 minutes. Hopefully. Not getting too carried away here. I only put this here yesterday. Set up a little bit. Nice to have a windrow on that side. We'll see how we go in the afternoon. leaving the sides high on this obviously so we can get snowdrift when it starts snowing tonight. Gives it somewhere to settle. It'll build this road up nicely hopefully. Then once we open we can knock those edges off. But right now they're good snow fences. Good for farming snow. This is the only link we sort of haven't got on this top road. Just this point, but there is a pit just up there, so I think if they set a gun up there and make a whale, we'll get this filled in pretty easy if the natural snow doesn't do it. Prefer to have man-made snow on this because it's wetter, so it'll set up harder. Saying that, could be a wet snowstorm, I don't know. Temperature looks alright, but see what it brings. This bit's a little bit thin, but I'm fairly sure it'll drift with the natural tonight. Looks like an area where the snow will just blow and sort of accumulate on the road here. Nice little valley. But we'll see. Good thing is that this is all quite chunky and gnarly at the moment, so it should catch pretty well. It's not too smooth. Well, that's quite smooth. It might just blow straight over that if it's too windy. But this area where it's all chopped up from me getting the snow for the road, that should catch snow nicely tonight. This area could do with a bit more. That stop bank's pretty unremarkable there too, so hopefully build that up. Looks like they've turned these off too. Too windy. I made some good little whales up here though. I've just been coming, every time I come down here I'm just making windrows again so we can catch some snow. Then the next couple of days will be pretty busy pushing, I'd say. rattly? Why is it rattly? The other reason I'm sort of tracking this up and tearing it up a bit is because of the warm weather we had. Sort of turned all this to ice. So this man-made stuff on top's not bad, but underneath it is a sheet of ice, and I kind of want to break it up a bit. Got a good layer. It's about 1 metre thick through here, which is good. It's just very solid. And that's great. It's going to make a good base for the rest of the season. It's what you want. Really need to chop up the bottom, but see how busy the afternoon gets first. Could have been a bit more methodical with this, but because I'd like to start from that side and just leave windrows all the way back across, but they had all the lances, all the tower guns on this morning. I didn't really want to go running through all the wet snow.